Rod, a 3-1 defeat to Weston-super-Mare this afternoon here at Parkview Road. What are your thoughts after that?
Tough one to swallow, really, because I think, you've witnessed it as well. And I thought today there was plenty of energy. I thought there was a lot of desire. I thought the boys played really well first half. And probably up until their goal from the free kick, that I felt we should have done better with. It was a bit of an awkward one. I think it was a good delivery, but it's right in the 6-yard box. But up until then, I think we would have far better side. We scored a very good goal. We got the crowd up. We had 1 or 2 little chances that we could have probably went and got the second. I thought we had some really good phases of play. I thought we got in good areas. I thought we looked to threat. We were cutting them open. And for all of that, we didn't work the keeper enough. I think the one Genie went through there, being pulled back. Maybe if he wasn't being pulled back, he might have just got that extra half a yard that he needed, but he slowed him up. And then obviously they scored from the free kick, and then the game-changing one today was the penalty that the linesman give probably 60 yards away. Referee's in the vicinity to make a decision. He's allowed the referee to bleep him up and say it come off a day's hand, and even their supporters said it was no way a penalty and it wasn't even in the box. So that was a big decision that went against us, to be fair. In the first half, I felt second half, we said we must stay in the game. We didn't want to concede. And we probably wasn't as good second half as we was in the first half, fluency-wise. But they're a very tough team to play against. They head and volley it. They don't hang about with it. And on today's pitch, it's not conducive for great football. So they certainly knew how to play the pitch. They just dropped it in areas, and the 2 centre-forwards up front, they're strong boys, and they made it difficult for our centre-halves. But I thought we had some fantastic performances. I thought some of our players was outstanding today, and you have to feel for them, really, because it's a 3-1 scoreline. If we get a little bit of rub of the green, I'm sure we get the penalty that Martel never got. He looks like a bit of a wanted man out there, because there's a couple of times he's gone down in the box and not got anything other than a card. But the referee, the linesman on this side, wasn't brave enough to give us that from 60 yards for some reason. And I think today, without saying it, we have to take the defeat on the chin, but without saying it, I think the officials again today have missed a lot of things that have gone on. Don't know how many bookings it was, but I should imagine we must be nearly double figures here today, because for some reason all he wanted to do was just keep booking players. And I thought it was quite a good game, to be honest. I thought there was 2 teams. They were a little bit more, it looked like a bit more experienced, us, a bit more physically stronger than us. They come out of a lot more sort of like 50-50 battles than us at times. But I've got to be honest, I thought, if we could have carried on like we did in the first half, I think we'd have probably got something. But it just seemed any time we got any momentum, it got took away from us.
After Boreham Wood a fortnight ago, you talked about ringing the changes. Some players have left, a few more have come in. We've seen a few debuts here today. Is there still more work to be done on that, or are you happy with how your squad's looking at the moment, especially with the likes of Daniel Martin coming back from injury? I know Shory Johnson was back in the squad on Wednesday as well, wasn't today, but are you happier with how your squad's looking?
I think the lads who have gone out and the lads who have come in have been upgrades. Yeah, I definitely think Alex is an upgrade. And I definitely think Powossu's an upgrade. Alex started today, Paul come off the bench, but you can see signs of what he's going to give us. Listen, we let 4 go because we just felt that we needed to freshen things up. We're not silly enough to know that we still need a striker. There still needs to be an out-and-out goal scorer or something along them lines that gives us more up top. Although I thought first half Chuck's done well, second half he never really got in front of the centre half to look after the ball enough. Martel come on and stretched him a little bit, and great ball down the sides, and he rolled his man and got ball down in the box, and that could have made it a penalty, which would have made it 3-2. So we're a little bit scrappy in front of goal. I thought with all the phases of play and all the pressure that we applied to them in the first half, I felt we should have worked their keeper more. And I've just said that again to the boys there. We don't work the keepers enough. If as much as I thought the crowd was excellent today, and I felt that they really see a good performance in the first half, we're not really working the keeper enough and getting enough shots off on target. So that's something I've got to look at. So I'm just waiting for 1 or 2 things to try and pounce on a forward if we can get one in. So that's why I made the squad a bit smaller. But we've still got a big crisis here with injuries. We've still got Ben Wells out, we've got Harvey Walker out, we've got Zane Walker out, we've got TJ Bramble out, Teddy Perkins out. Obviously, Javan, the goalkeeper, number 2's gradually coming back. And I think there might even be one other. And today we had Charlie Pegram who's suspended. So, listen, we're trying to fight a battle here with our hands tied behind our back. But as I said, we may get start. It's very early time of the season to start quoting relegation situations. But this place was a fortress last season for us, and it hasn't quite been that at the moment. But I think the supporters should go away from here today and say, maybe on another day we may win this game. And I certainly think if we had an official that was a little bit more fairer to both sides, I think we certainly might have had a chance to get something out of this game. So for the effort and the commitment that the supporters have seen today, I think they've got to say, listen, we've had a right go. Even when Max come on and we lost Birchall at half time, said he wasn't feeling well, and he looked like that a couple of times in the first half, didn't look himself. But Max come on and done quite well for us. So, listen, we're still trying to bed in a lot of players, but no excuses. We've got to be better than what we probably was in the second half today. And I always say, if you win the battle, you win the war. And I think probably second half they won a lot of the battle. But I think we should have probably had the game wrapped up with our first half display. And then that way, hopefully, it would have took away the decisions that killed us. But listen, everybody can see it today. That howler of a penalty that he's give. I hope when we do get the footage, we can send it into the FA and say, look, this is what people are winning and losing games on. And I'm sure it's happening at our level, and I'm sure it happens, as we've seen it recently, happen in the Premier League, with silly sending-offs and silly decisions that are going on. And I do think it's a little bit of an issue in the game. But as I say, take nothing away from Weston. They've come here today. I'm sure they'll go back saying that they played against a good side in Welling today. And they've gone away and they've worked hard, and they've taken away the points.
And there's an immediate chance to bounce back. A Tuesday night at Trips of Worthing. That will be the 10th game of the season. A lot of people sort of say that's when you start looking at the table and all that sort of stuff. So is 3 points important on Tuesday night, or is it a case of just maybe stopping that? I wouldn't call it a rot quite yet, but just getting another point on the board and steadying the ship a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's when we say is it a rot, I mean, I think if you just look behind you, I've got 4 players there. There's TJ, there's RV, Birch might be the other one as well. I think if we can get some more players back, I think it'd probably give us a stronger squad to pick from. I mean, the only 2 that was available outside the squad today was Jory Johnson, who I think just needs to it'd be sort of more hopefully available maybe Tuesday or definitely for next Saturday. And then obviously was Dave Carty. So it's not as if, and Charlie Pegram, it's not as if we've got bundles of player outside the squad. So it tells you that we're very light on players. I won't panic. I don't think anybody can panic this side of Christmas. We just got to start picking up some wins. I don't know what the results are today, but this league seems a very strange league at the minute. So look, we'll be fine. I'm sure I need to get a striker in, and I know Howard would back us to get a striker in. But you've got to try and find someone that's going to probably be what we need rather than keep gambling. But today, listen, there's been enough chances at midfielders or Chooks or Longy or Genie, if he'd have just broke away and done what he'd done against Torquay, where he just slotted the keeper. That puts us 2-0 up. I think it's a different ball game. But as I say, the free kick was disappointing to allow him back in the game, and the penalty has just made it very, very difficult for us second half. But we can't turn back the clocks. What we've got to do is brush ourselves down and try and put as much confidence back into these boys and tell them that they've actually played quite well today. And we've got to go and put a very good performance in against Worthing, and every point on the board at the minute is massively important. So we've got to start chalking some points on the board before it does start getting a little bit alarming. So I'm aware of that. As I said, last year we come in and we managed to do a miracle. We don't want to come in this year and then obviously, throw away the good work we've done last year. So listen, we'll keep battling, and as long as they keep giving us what they've given us today, I believe that we'll turn the corner. But I think on reflection of the game, we certainly didn't deserve to lose 3-1. That's for sure.
Cheers, well done. Lucky today.
Cheers.